Why Jesse McBee was hesitant to ask Alli for prenup. With a $50 million payout potentially at stake, Jesse McBee's brothers pressured him to have an uncomfortable prenup conversation with fiancé Alli on the McBee dynasty, Real American Cowboys. In an exclusive interview with Briefing on Bravo, Jesse and his brother Stephen McBee Jr. shed new light on the subject of a potential prenuptial agreement, which arose during the family's Ozarks getaway on Season 2, Episode 5, including why the former waited until just weeks before their wedding to have that talk with his bride. "I wish me and Alli would have had that conversation a little sooner, and obviously, filming a reality television show while talking about it is just not easy to do," Jesse explained. "We were so busy that we'd have a quick conversation about it and then not talk about it for a few weeks." With the benefit of hindsight now on his side, Jesse doesn't regret following his brother's lead on broaching the sensitive topic, though. "Now that we're kind of out of it and I can look at it from an outsider's perspective, I always thought that it was a good idea," he elaborated. "If you and your partner love each other and understand that, even if something were to happen, I wouldn't want to take anything that you've worked for, and she wouldn't want to take anything I worked for." How the McBees felt about Jesse McBee and Alli potential prenup. Stephen brought up the prenup during the family's fireside game in the Ozarks, during which each person pulled an anonymously submitted question out of a cowboy hat. Alli was not with them on the trip. "Jesse, your wedding's a month away. I have not seen any prenup come across the desk. Thoughts?" he asked, before highlighting that Alli's percentage of the farm and car washes in a potential divorce would be like a $50 million payout. "Draw one up," Jesse responded, promising that he would talk to Alli. He worried in a confessional, however, that his bride-to-be would kill him for making things worse by bringing up the prenup amid their already ongoing disagreement about living arrangements. Cole McBee, for his part, insisted that Jesse had no choice in the matter. "During the moment, it was a tough conversation, especially with my mom," Jesse told Briefing on Bravo, referencing matriarch Christy McBee. As Stephen Jr. put it, "My mom is very anti-prenup," while also unpacking his own personal feelings on the legal matter. "I just think that it protects both parties, and I think that it's an incentive to stay together, which I think is a good thing," the eldest McBee brother explained. "I've never really viewed it as, this horrible thing where it's a topic that no one should be discussing. I think the more that you talk about it on the front end, and the more that you evaluate what a prenup actually stands for, it's a positive." Jesse, meanwhile, teased that upcoming McBee Dynasty episodes will highlight a battle amid differing family perspectives, including from father Stephen McBee Sr., whom he noted was very much for a prenup, like his brothers. "Dad's just anti-marriage in general," Jesse added. "That's the battle that you guys are gonna see me kind of face throughout the episodes, just, trying to pick a side and trying to decide what the right decision is. I still probably don't know. Did Jesse McBee and Alli get married? Yes, though you'll have to tune in to find out if they went through with a prenup." Jesse and Alli tied the knot in October 2024, as was already previewed in the McBee Dynasty Season 2 trailer. What's more, Stephen Jr. officiated the whimsical ceremony at White Iron Ridge in Smithfield, Missouri, and Cole was among Jesse's groomsmen, according to Briefing on Bravo. Jesse stared out at the sprawling McBee ranch, the land he poured his life into. Every fence post, every barn, every acre was a testament to his family's legacy, a legacy he was now being told needed legal fortification against the woman he loved. Alli. Just the thought of her name brought a warmth to his chest, a stark contrast to the icy dread that accompanied the word prenup. He remembered Stephen Jr.'s blunt question during that fireside game in the Ozarks, the one pulled anonymously from a cowboy hat. "Jesse, your wedding's a month away. I have not seen any prenup come across the desk. Thoughts?" The casual delivery belied the bombshell nature of the query, especially with Stephen's follow-up about Alli's potential $50 million payout in a divorce. Jesse had mumbled a half-hearted draw one up, but inside, his gut churned. He could practically hear Alli's furious, "You'd kill me for making things worse," ringing in his ears. Their relationship was already navigating the choppy waters of living arrangements, and a prenup felt like tossing a grenade into the mix. His hesitancy wasn't born of a lack of understanding regarding the family's financial concerns. He knew the McBee enterprise was vast and complex, encompassing not just the farm, but a growing chain of car washes. The numbers were staggering, and his brothers, particularly Stephen Jr., were fiercely protective of the family's assets. Stephen's argument that a prenup protects both parties and is an incentive to stay together made a logical, if cold, kind of sense. But logic had little place in the whirlwind of emotions that was his relationship with Alli. Their love was messy, passionate, and sometimes fraught with disagreements, but it was real. The idea of reducing their bond to a legal document, a contingency plan for failure, felt like a betrayal. It felt like telling Alli, "I love you, but I don't trust you." He recalled the brief, unsatisfying conversations he'd managed to squeeze in with Alli about it. "We were so busy that, we'd have, a quick conversation about it, and then not talk about it for a few weeks," he'd explained to the briefing on Bravo crew. It wasn't an excuse, merely the chaotic reality of their lives. Planning a wedding, managing the ranch, and navigating the constant presence of a reality TV crew left little room for delving into such a sensitive and potentially damaging topic. The pressure mounted from all sides. His father, Stephen Sr., was very much for a prenup, echoing his brother's sentiments. Jesse often joked that his dad was anti-marriage in general, a wry observation that held a grain of truth. But even his father's cynical view couldn't diminish the genuine anxiety Jesse felt. His mother, Christy, was the only one in his corner, very anti-prenup. Her quiet disapproval was a small comfort in the storm of familial expectation. He paced the dusty yard, the afternoon sun casting long shadows. He loved Alli, he truly did. He envisioned their future together, raising a family on this very land, building something enduring. And that's where the conflict truly lay. If their love was as strong as he believed, why did it need a financial safety net? He tried to rationalize it, to see it through his brother's eyes. If you and your partner love each other and understand that, even if something were to happen, I wouldn't want to take anything that you've worked for, and she wouldn't want to take anything I worked for, he'd mused to the camera. It was a noble sentiment, a belief in mutual respect and fairness. But translating that sentiment into a cold, hard legal document was the challenge. The truth was, Jesse was a romantic at heart, a cowboy who believed in grand gestures and unwavering commitment. The very notion of planning for a divorce before even saying "I do" felt like anathema to his spirit. It felt like inviting doubt into a space that should be filled only with hope and certainty. He knew he had to have the conversation, a real conversation, not just fleeting exchanges between chores. He had to face Alli, explain the immense pressure he was under, and somehow articulate the financial realities without making her feel like a commodity or a threat. He dreaded the look in her eyes, the potential hurt, the possible resentment. He worried about the cracks it might put in the foundation of their burgeoning life together. As the wedding day drew closer, the weight on his shoulders became almost unbearable. Every smile Alli gave him, every touch, every shared laugh was tinged with the unspoken. He wanted their wedding to be a joyous celebration of their love, not a calculated merger of assets. He knew the viewers of the McBee dynasty would be watching, dissecting every glance, every hesitant word. He was caught in a spotlight, forced to navigate a deeply personal and emotionally charged decision in front of a national audience. The battle his family was having, as he teased, was very real, and he was squarely in the middle of it. Jesse took a deep breath, the scent of hay and horseflesh filling his lungs. He loved this life, this family, and most of all, he loved Alli. He knew he had to talk to her, not just because his brothers demanded it, but because he owed her the honesty, however uncomfortable it might be. The $50 million payout was a number, a concept, but Alli was real. Her feelings, their future, that was what truly mattered. He still didn't have all the answers, still didn't know if it was the right decision, but he knew he couldn't avoid it any longer. The time for whispering was over. It was time to face the music, prenup or no prenup. Do you think Jesse made the right decision by eventually bringing up the prenup, or should he have stood his ground against his family?